Many people think Nikah begins when the right person finally enters their life. But many times, it begins when the wrong version of you quietly leaves. The version that chased attention just to feel worthy. The version that settled for people who gave the bare minimum. The version that panicked every time life felt delayed. The version that cried over doors Allah was trying to close. The version that confused chaos with love. The version that forced what was never written. So, if your heart feels calmer now, stronger now, harder to fool now, less impressed by the wrong people now, do not ignore this hidden change, because sometimes, before Allah sends the person you prayed for, He first transforms the person who is waiting. 1. You no longer chase attention that never truly valued you. There was a time when attention felt very important to you. You cared who noticed you, who viewed your story first, who liked your pictures, who replied quickly, who seemed interested, who gave you small signs that made you feel wanted for a moment. Sometimes one message could lift your mood. Sometimes one late reply could disturb your whole day. Sometimes being ignored felt heavier than it should have, and being noticed felt like proof that you mattered. You may not have called it this at the time, but deep inside, attention had become a kind of emotional food. You were feeding your heart with reactions from people, with validation from strangers, with temporary interest from those who did not truly know you. And because of that, silence felt painful. When no one noticed you, it felt like something was missing. When no one reached out, it felt personal. When others received attention, it sometimes made you question your own worth. This happens to many people because in today's world, attention is everywhere. It comes fast. It feels exciting. It gives quick emotional highs. But what comes quickly often leaves quickly too. And now, something has changed inside you. You no longer feel excited by random attention. You no longer feel impressed when someone gives you interest for a few moments. You no longer want to perform just to be seen. You no longer want to chase people who only appear when they are bored. Empty compliments do not move you like before. Being watched does not feel the same as being valued. Being desired does not feel the same as being respected. Being noticed does not feel the same as being loved. This is a powerful sign of growth, because many people spend years confusing attention with love. They think if someone wants to talk often, it means they care. They think if someone watches everything they do, it means they value them. They think if someone flirts, praises, or shows temporary excitement, it means something deep. But attention can be cheap. It can come from people who are lonely, people who are bored, people who enjoy the chase, people who want access without commitment, people who like the feeling of having someone available, people who never plan to build anything real. That is why attention can feel warm in the moment, but empty afterward. Real love feels different. Real love carries respect. Real love carries consistency. Real love carries responsibility. Real love protects your dignity. Real love does not make you anxious every day. Real love does not keep you guessing your worth. Real love does not disappear when things become serious. And when Allah begins preparing someone for nikah, He often removes their hunger for shallow attention first. Because if you still crave being noticed by everyone, you may miss the one person who truly matters. If your heart still depends on random validation, you may overlook sincere love because it arrives quietly. If your soul still chases noise, you may not recognize peace when it comes. So Allah changes your taste. What once excited you now feels childish. What once distracted you now feels tiring. What once looked attractive now feels empty. You begin wanting depth instead of display, privacy instead of performance, respect instead of excitement, peace instead of popularity. This hidden change is beautiful. It means your heart is becoming harder to fool. It means your emotions are becoming wiser. It means your standards are rising quietly. It means you are no longer available for every false connection. And that matters, because marriage is not built on being admired by many people. It is built on being honored by one sincere person. It is not built on constant attention. It is built on trust when no one is watching. It is not built on public interest. It is built on private loyalty. So if attention feels empty now, if random people no longer impress you, if being seen matters less than being respected, do not think you are losing something. You may be outgrowing what was never meant for you. And sometimes, one of the first signs that your nikah is near is that your heart stops chasing what cannot truly love you. 2. The wrong people quietly lose their power over your heart. There was a time when certain people had too much control over your emotions. One message from them could brighten your whole day. One cold reply could ruin your night. One delayed response could make your mind race with questions. One small sign of interest could pull you back in again. And one moment of distance could make you feel restless. They may not have owned your heart completely, but they had influence over it. Your mood moved with their behavior. Your peace changed with their attention. Your thoughts followed their actions. Sometimes you told yourself it was love. Sometimes you called it connection. Sometimes you believed they were special simply because they affected you deeply. But not everyone who affects you is meant for you. Some people only touch your emotions. They never touch your destiny. Some people enter your life to expose your wounds, not to become your future. Some people awaken attachment, not commitment. And many people mistake emotional intensity for importance. But now, something quiet has started changing. The people who once had power over your heart no longer affect you the same way. Their silence does not shake you like before. Their distance no longer makes you panic. Their late replies no longer feel like a crisis. Their attention no longer feels like a reward. Their mixed signals no longer feel mysterious. Their charm no longer blinds you. You begin seeing clearly. You notice how little effort they gave. You notice how often they confused you. You notice how much energy you spent trying to understand someone who never tried to understand you. You notice how often you excused behavior that hurt you. You notice how much of the connection was built on hope, not reality. This is a powerful hidden change, because before the right person enters your life, the wrong people often begin losing access to your heart. Allah starts removing false importance from those who were never meant to stay. He lifts the emotional fog. He exposes patterns you once ignored. He shows you the truth without needing words. Suddenly, the person you once thought you could never forget feels smaller in your heart. The one you once cried over no longer controls your peace. The one who once felt impossible to replace no longer feels necessary. This does not mean you became cold. It means you became wiser. It means your heart is healing. It means your soul is no longer feeding itself with crumbs. Because when the heart is wounded, it often attaches to what hurts it. It chases closure from those who caused confusion. It seeks love from those who offered little. It hopes that one more chance will fix everything. But healing changes your vision. You stop calling inconsistency potential. You stop calling distance mystery. You stop calling selfishness complexity. You stop calling emotional games chemistry. You stop calling pain love. And once you see clearly, their power fades naturally. You do not even need revenge. You do not need long speeches. You do not need dramatic endings. You simply outgrow what once trapped you. That is one of the strongest forms of freedom. Some people lose power over you not because they changed, but because you changed. Your standards changed. Your self-respect changed. Your awareness changed. Your relationship with Allah changed. And the heart that once begged for little now refuses what dishonors it. This is why some connections suddenly feel weak. Some names no longer carry the same weight. Some people no longer live in your mind all day. Some memories no longer pull tears from your eyes. Allah may be emptying your heart from what cannot remain, because the right person should not have to compete with old confusion. Real love should not have to fight through unhealthy attachment. Peace should not have to enter a crowded heart. So Allah clears space. He removes emotional idols quietly. He softens the pain. He breaks the chains little by little. And one day you realize, the people who once had so much power over you have almost none. That is not random. That is mercy. So if certain people no longer affect you like before, if someone you once obsessed over now feels distant in your soul, if the connection that once ruled your emotions now feels weak, do not be sad. Do not run back just because it feels unfamiliar. This may be one of the clearest signs that Allah is freeing your heart for something better. Because sometimes, before Nikah comes near, the wrong people quietly lose their power over your heart. 3. Your standards rise and settling starts to feel impossible. There was a time when you accepted things you should never have accepted. You tolerated late replies with no respect. You accepted mixed signals and called them confusion. You accepted promises with no action. You accepted interest with no intention. You accepted effort only when it was convenient for them. You accepted being remembered only when they were lonely. You accepted words that sounded sweet, but led nowhere. And many times, you accepted all of this because you were afraid of losing someone. You feared being alone. You feared starting over. You feared that if you walked away, nothing better would come. So you lowered your standards just to keep a connection alive. You told yourself to be patient. You told yourself they would change. You told yourself love requires struggle. You told yourself maybe this is normal. But deep inside, your heart was tired, because the soul always knows when it is receiving less than it deserves. Now something has changed. Your standards are rising quietly, not loudly, not proudly, not to impress anyone. They are rising because pain taught you lessons comfort never could. They are rising because disappointment opened your eyes. They are rising because you finally understand the cost of accepting less. Now, things that once seemed normal begin to feel heavy. Dry conversations feel empty. Inconsistent people feel exhausting. Hot and cold behavior feels childish. Attention without effort feels meaningless. Beauty without character feels weak. Words without action feel cheap. You no longer get excited by what once distracted you. You begin wanting depth over display, character over charm, stability over thrill, honesty over performance, peace over popularity. This is growth, because many people think standards mean asking for perfection. That is not true. Healthy standards are not about demanding perfection. They are about refusing disrespect. They are about protecting your peace. They are about knowing that your heart is valuable. They are about understanding that marriage is serious. It is not a game. It is not entertainment. It is not a place for careless people. It is a covenant. It is responsibility. It is patience. It is trust. So naturally, your standards begin changing. You start caring how someone speaks when angry, how they treat people with less power, how they handle responsibility, how they act when no one is watching, how serious they are about deen, how consistent they are when life becomes difficult, how safe their presence feels. Because you now understand something powerful. Attraction can open a door, but character decides whether the home survives. Many people choose with their eyes and suffer with their heart. Many people chase excitement and later beg for peace. Many people ignore red flags because they fear waiting. But now settling starts to feel impossible. You would rather wait than be drained. You would rather be alone than disrespected. You would rather protect your peace than entertain confusion. You would rather trust Allah than force something weak. That is not arrogance. That is healing. That is maturity. That is wisdom entering the heart. Sometimes people around you may not understand this change. They may say you ask for too much. They may say nobody is perfect. They may tell you to just accept whoever comes. But they do not have to live your future. They do not have to carry your wounds. They do not have to sleep beside your decisions. So let people talk. When someone has tasted emotional pain, they stop romanticizing low standards. And sometimes Allah delays nikah until this lesson is learned. Because if He gave you someone too early, you may have chosen based on loneliness, based on pressure, based on attraction, based on fear of being left behind. But delay can be protection. Waiting can be training. Silence can be mercy. Allah may be teaching you to value yourself before handing you to someone else. He may be teaching you discernment before commitment. He may be teaching you patience before partnership. And one of the signs this lesson is working is that settling starts to feel impossible. The heart that once begged for crumbs now turns away from empty tables. The person who once chased bare minimum effort now loses interest quickly. The soul that once feared being alone now fears being trapped with the wrong person more. This is a beautiful shift, because once your standards rise, your choices rise, your peace rises, your future rises. So if what once impressed you no longer moves you, if low effort now feels unattractive, if confusion now pushes you away instead of pulling you in, do not think you became difficult. You may have simply become ready, because sometimes, before Allah brings the right person near, He first raises your standards so you no longer choose the wrong one. 4. Peace becomes more attractive than chemistry and chaos. There was a time when excitement felt like love. Fast replies felt special. Strong emotions felt meaningful. Butterflies felt like destiny. Intensity felt rare. If someone made your heart race, you thought they must matter. If they were hard to understand, you thought they must be deep. If they confused you, you thought they must be important. If the connection felt unstable, you thought it was passion. This happens to many people because chaos often arrives dressed like romance. It feels powerful in the beginning. It creates suspense. It creates obsession. It creates emotional highs and lows that feel unforgettable. One day they are warm. The next day they are distant. One moment they make you feel chosen. The next moment they make you feel invisible. And because the heart becomes addicted to uncertainty, it starts calling this pain chemistry. But chemistry and chaos are not the same thing. Chemistry may create attraction. Chaos creates exhaustion. Chemistry may bring excitement. Chaos steals peace. Chemistry may open interest. Chaos slowly damages trust. Many people learn this too late. They spend years chasing people who make them feel intense emotions, while ignoring those who could have given them a calm heart. But now, something inside you is changing. You no longer feel impressed by emotional confusion. You no longer admire hot and cold behavior. You no longer see inconsistency as mysterious. You no longer think anxiety means love. You no longer believe drama is passion. Instead, peace is becoming attractive to you. You begin wanting calm conversations, clear intentions, honest communication, respectful behavior, steady effort, a person whose presence relaxes your nervous system instead of disturbing it, a person who does not make you guess where you stand, a person who does not disappear when things become serious, a person who values harmony more than games. This is a beautiful sign of maturity, because many people are trained by pain to chase intensity. But healed hearts begin to value stability. They understand something important. What feels exciting at first can become exhausting later. What feels calm at first can become deeply beautiful later. Strong marriages are rarely built on endless drama. They are built on mercy, patience, safety, friendship, trust, mutual respect, the ability to solve problems without destroying each other, the ability to speak without fear, the ability to disagree without emotional warfare. This is real value. And when Allah prepares someone for nikah, He often changes what they find attractive. You start caring less about charm, more about character, less about looks alone, more about loyalty, less about thrilling emotions, more about inner safety, less about being entertained, more about being respected. This hidden shift protects your future, because if chaos still attracts you, you may invite pain and call it love. If confusion still excites you, you may ignore warning signs. If intensity still controls you, you may choose a storm instead of a home. So Allah softens your heart toward peace. He makes steadiness beautiful. He makes kindness noticeable. He makes emotional safety desirable. He makes calm feel valuable. And now something that once seemed boring starts feeling rare. Someone honest feels rare. Someone consistent feels rare. Someone gentle feels rare. Someone who brings no games feels rare. Someone who lowers your stress instead of increasing it feels rare. That is wisdom, because peace is not boring. Peace is expensive. Peace is difficult to find in a world full of performance. Peace is precious because it allows love to grow slowly and sincerely. Peace lets two people become a team. Peace lets children grow in safety. Peace lets a home become a place of mercy. Peace lets hearts rest. Many people chase fireworks, then spend years praying for peace. But when your heart matures, you begin choosing peace first. That choice can save years of regret. So if drama now pushes you away, if mixed signals now feel tiring, if loud charm no longer impresses you, if calm energy now feels deeply attractive, do not think you are losing excitement. You are gaining wisdom. You are becoming ready for something real. Because sometimes, before Allah brings the right spouse near, He teaches your heart that peace is far more valuable than chemistry and chaos. 5. Your dua stops chasing names and starts asking for what is written. There was a time when your dua was tied to one person, one name, one face, one story you wanted to happen. You may have raised your hands and asked with tears, Ya Allah, let them choose me. Ya Allah, bring them back. Ya Allah, make them love me. Ya Allah, make this work somehow. Your heart was focused on one outcome. You believed happiness was hidden inside one person's yes. You believed peace would only come through one door. You believed if that name left your life, something precious would be lost forever. This happens to many hearts, because when emotions become deep, the mind becomes narrow. It starts believing there is only one path to joy, only one person who can understand you, only one future that can satisfy you. So dua becomes less about surrender and more about attachment, less about trust and more about control, less about what is best and more about what is desired. But now, something beautiful begins to change. Your dua starts sounding different. Ya Allah, give me what is good for me. Ya Allah, protect me from what harms me. Ya Allah, send me someone who brings me closer to you. Ya Allah, bless me with love that is clean, sincere, and lasting. Ya Allah, if this person is good for me, open the door, and if they are not, remove them gently from my heart. This is a powerful hidden transformation, because your heart is no longer worshipping one outcome. It is learning surrender. You stop demanding names and begin asking for qualities. You stop begging for one face and begin asking for one soul that is right for you. You stop chasing a specific story and begin trusting the story Allah writes. This change is deep because many people do not realize that sometimes the pain is not from losing someone, it is from clinging too tightly to how they thought life must happen. They suffer because they wanted one road, but Allah sees roads they cannot see. They wanted one person, but Allah knows hearts they have never met. They wanted something quickly, but Allah knows the damage hidden inside rushed timing. So when your dua matures, your vision matures too. You begin understanding that what you want and what is good for you are not always the same. You begin accepting that attraction is not always guidance. You begin realizing that some closed doors are protection wearing the clothes of disappointment. You begin trusting that delay can be mercy. Now, when you raise your hands, there is more peace inside you. You still desire love. You still hope for Nikah. You still dream of companionship, but there is less desperation, less panic, less obsession, more trust, more humility, more calm. You ask Allah not only for a spouse, but for a righteous one. Not only for marriage, but for mercy inside it. Not only for love, but for loyalty, patience, kindness, and deen. Not only for a wedding day, but for a peaceful lifetime after it. This is wisdom, because many people ask for the beginning of a story, but forget to ask for the strength to sustain it. Many people ask for beauty, but forget to ask for character. Many people ask for chemistry, but forget to ask for peace. Many people ask for attention, but forget to ask for sincerity. Now your dua reaches deeper. You ask for someone whose heart fears Allah, someone who respects your dignity, someone who protects trust, someone who grows with you, someone who helps your akhirah, not only your dunya, someone who becomes a source of mercy, not a test you created by impatience. And sometimes, this change in dua is one of the clearest signs that Allah is preparing you, because before He gives a blessing, He often purifies the way you ask for it. He removes childish desires. He softens selfish requests. He teaches the heart to seek substance over surface. He teaches the soul to want what lasts. So if lately your dua feels calmer, if you care less about one name and more about one righteous person, if you now ask for what is best instead of what is immediate, do not think your heart is losing passion. It may be gaining wisdom, and wisdom in dua is precious, because the heart that trusts Allah's choice will survive disappointments better than the heart that only trusts its own desires. So, if names matter less now, if qualities matter more now, if surrender feels stronger than obsession, this may be a hidden sign, because sometimes, before Nikah comes near, your dua stops chasing names and starts asking for what is written. 6 panic fades, and a deep calm begins to replace it. There was a time when delay felt terrifying, when nothing happened for a while. Your heart became restless. When months passed, you started questioning everything. When years moved forward, fear entered your chest. You looked at your life and wondered if something was wrong. You looked at others getting married and felt left behind. You saw people finding companionship and asked yourself why your story was still waiting. Every silence felt heavy. Every closed door felt personal. Every disappointment felt like a sign that maybe it would never happen for you. This kind of panic is more common than people admit, because when the heart wants something deeply, waiting can feel painful. And when society constantly reminds people about age, timelines, and comparison, the pressure becomes even stronger. People begin believing they are late. They begin believing everyone else is moving ahead. They begin believing delay means failure. So panic grows quietly. You may smile outside, but inside, your thoughts keep racing. What if I never find the right person? What if I missed my chance? What if time is running out? What if everyone else moves forward except me? What if I am forgotten? These thoughts can exhaust the soul. They steal joy from today. They turn waiting into suffering. They make a person desperate for any door to open. And desperation is dangerous, because panic can make people lower their standards. Panic can make people ignore red flags. Panic can make people chase what harms them. Panic can make people force connections that were never written. Panic can make people marry loneliness instead of marrying wisely. But now something inside you is changing. The panic that once ruled your heart is fading, slowly, quietly, deeply. You still desire marriage. You still make dua. You still hope. But the fear no longer controls you the same way. The waiting no longer crushes you like before. Comparison no longer shakes you as much. Timelines no longer feel like chains around your neck. Instead, a deep calm begins to grow. You start understanding truths that panic never allowed you to see. You realize delay is not rejection. You realize waiting is not punishment. You realize being unmarried today does not mean being alone forever. You realize Allah does not forget the one who keeps asking Him. You realize time in your hands is limited, but timing in Allah's hands is perfect. This calm is beautiful because it is not the calm of giving up. It is the calm of trusting. It is not hopelessness. It is surrender with peace. It is not numbness. It is strength that no longer needs constant reassurance. You begin saying to yourself, "What is written for me cannot miss me. What misses me was never mine. What is delayed may be protecting me. What is coming will come at the right time." These thoughts heal the nervous system. They soften the chest. They quiet the racing mind. They allow sleep to return. They allow gratitude for the present. They allow the heart to breathe again. And something powerful happens when panic leaves. You start choosing better. You stop chasing weak connections. You stop entertaining people who waste your time. You stop trying to force what clearly lacks barakah. You stop making emotional decisions out of fear. Now you can wait with dignity. Now you can say no without panic. Now you can walk away from confusion without feeling you lost your last chance. Now you can trust that one closed door does not close your future. This calm also changes your relationship with Allah. Before, dua may have come with fear. Now dua comes with peace. Before, you asked while trembling. Now you ask while trusting. Before, every delay felt like silence. Now even silence feels meaningful. You begin sensing that Allah is working in ways you cannot yet see. Perhaps He is protecting you from the wrong person. Perhaps He is shaping your heart first. Perhaps He is preparing someone else too. Perhaps He is saving you from a story that would have broken you. Perhaps He is teaching you patience so you can protect your future marriage. The calm heart understands this. The panicked heart cannot. That is why this hidden shift matters so much. Because a calm heart receives blessings differently. It is not frantic. It is not careless. It is not blind with desperation. It is steady, ready, wise, open. So if lately you feel less panic, if the waiting feels lighter, if comparison no longer wounds you the same way, if your chest feels softer even without answers, do not think nothing is happening. This deep calm may itself be an answer. Because sometimes, before Allah opens the outer door, He first closes the inner storm. And sometimes, one of the clearest signs that Nikah is drawing near is that panic fades and a deep calm begins to replace it. 7. You naturally begin becoming the person you once prayed for. There was a time when most of your focus was on finding the right person. You thought often about who they would be, what they would look like, how they would speak, how they would treat you, when they would arrive, how your life would change once they came. You made dua for someone loving, someone loyal, someone patient, someone mature. someone who would protect your heart, someone who would bring peace into your life. And there is nothing wrong with that hope. Wanting a righteous spouse is beautiful. Wanting companionship is natural. Wanting love in a halal way is honorable. But many people stay focused on one question only: where is the right person? And they forget another powerful question: am I becoming the right person too? This is where something beautiful begins to change inside you. Without forcing it, without making announcements, without trying to impress anyone, you naturally begin growing. You start paying attention to your habits. You care more about how you speak, how you react when upset, how you handle disappointment, how you treat people when you gain nothing from them, how disciplined you are when no one is watching, how sincere you are with Allah in private moments. This growth is quiet, but it is precious, because real preparation is often invisible. The world may not notice it, friends may not praise it, no one may clap for it, but Allah sees every hidden effort. He sees the nights you choose patience over anger. He sees the mornings you choose discipline over laziness. He sees the moments you stay silent instead of speaking harshly. He sees the tears you hide while still trusting Him. He sees the private battles no one else knows about. And slowly, these hidden choices shape you. You become calmer, more thoughtful, more dependable, more honest with yourself, more emotionally steady, more aware of your weaknesses, more willing to improve them. This matters deeply, because many people pray for loyalty while living inconsistently. They pray for patience while becoming angry quickly. They pray for peace while carrying chaos into every room. They pray for maturity while avoiding responsibility. They pray for love while refusing to heal the wounds that damage love. They ask Allah for a blessing, but do not prepare themselves to carry it. Now something different is happening in you. You begin preparing naturally. You care about your character more than your image. You care about substance more than appearance. You care about becoming trustworthy. You care about controlling ego. You care about healing old pain so it does not spill onto innocent people later. You care about learning how to communicate with wisdom. You care about learning how to apologize. You care about learning how to listen. These are not small things. These are the foundations of a healthy marriage. Many people spend years searching for someone special, while ignoring the qualities that make love survive. But you are beginning to understand that marriage is not just about finding someone beautiful. It is about becoming someone safe. It is not just about receiving love. It is about knowing how to give it. It is not just about being chosen. It is about being ready when chosen. That is why Allah often uses waiting as training. The season that feels slow may actually be building you. The delay that feels painful may actually be protecting your future. The loneliness that feels heavy may actually be teaching self-control. The silence may be teaching patience. The closed doors may be teaching discernment. And one day you realize you are not the same person who first made that dua. Your heart is stronger now. Your standards are wiser now. Your reactions are calmer now. Your relationship with Allah is deeper now. Your understanding of love is cleaner now. Your soul is more ready now. This is a beautiful hidden sign, because sometimes the answer to your dua does not begin with someone entering your life. Sometimes it begins with Allah transforming you first. He builds the version of you that can recognize good love. He builds the version of you that can protect good love. He builds the version of you that can sustain good love. So if lately you feel drawn to self-improvement, if discipline feels more important, if healing matters more, if your character matters more than attention, if private growth has started becoming natural, do not think this is random. Allah may be preparing you in ways you cannot yet see, because sometimes, before He sends the person you prayed for, He helps you become the person you once prayed for. 8. You stop forcing love and start trusting Allah's perfect timing. There was a time when you tried to force everything. You tried to force conversations that had no life in them. You tried to force feelings from hearts that were never fully present. You tried to force people to notice your value. You tried to force broken connections to become healthy. You tried to force doors to open after Allah kept closing them. You tried to force clarity from people who only offered confusion. You tried to force loyalty from those who were never sincere. You tried to force timing that was not ready. And because of that, you became tired, very tired. Because forcing love drains the soul. It makes a person beg where they should have walked away. It makes a person over-explain where silence would have been wiser. It makes a person chase where dignity should have remained. It makes a person stay where peace had already left. Many hearts suffer not because love failed, but because they kept trying to force what was never meant to grow. This happens when fear takes control. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of losing time, fear that no one better will come, fear that this chance is the last chance. So people hold tightly to weak things. They water dead gardens. They defend people who keep hurting them. They reopen doors that Allah already closed. They call struggle love and attachment destiny. But now something beautiful is changing inside you. You are becoming tired of forcing, tired of chasing, tired of carrying connections alone, tired of trying to convince people to value what they should have valued naturally, tired of making excuses for what repeatedly harms you, tired of dragging stories that have no life left in them. This tiredness is not failure. It is wisdom waking up, because sometimes exhaustion is the moment the heart finally learns. Now, you begin understanding a powerful truth. What is written for you does not need to be forced. What belongs to you will not require you to lose your dignity. What Allah has chosen for you will not need endless manipulation to survive. What is good for you may require patience, but it will not require humiliation. This changes everything. You still make effort. You still improve yourself. You still communicate honestly. You still take halal steps. You still make sincere dua. You still open your heart wisely. But the desperate energy begins to leave. You stop trying to control every outcome. You stop trying to make someone love you. You stop trying to revive what keeps dying. You stop trying to read hidden signs in people who give no clarity. You stop trying to turn confusion into commitment. Instead, trust begins to grow. A deep, calm trust. You begin saying, if it is written for me, it will come with the right time. If it is delayed, there is wisdom in the delay. If it leaves, perhaps mercy has removed it. If it stays, perhaps Allah has blessed it. If one door closes, another may be preparing quietly. This trust heals the heart, because control creates anxiety, but trust creates peace. Control makes you obsess over every message. Trust lets you breathe. Control makes you panic at every delay. Trust reminds you that timing belongs to Allah. Control makes you cling to what weakens you. Trust gives you strength to release it. And this trust is not laziness. It is not giving up. It is not doing nothing. It is effort without desperation. It is hope without obsession. It is patience without bitterness. It is movement without panic. That is a rare and beautiful state. Many people only know two extremes, either forcing everything or giving up completely. But mature hearts learn a better path. Do your part. Leave the rest to Allah. Take wise steps. Protect your dignity. Keep your heart clean. Improve yourself. Pray sincerely. Then let timing belong to the one who controls time itself. This hidden shift often comes before great blessings, because when the heart stops gripping too tightly, it becomes ready to receive gently. When the heart stops chasing crumbs, it becomes ready for real provision. When the heart stops worshipping outcomes, it becomes ready for gratitude. Sometimes Allah delays something until you stop idolizing it. Sometimes He withholds something until it no longer controls you. Sometimes He teaches surrender before He grants the gift. And one day you realize, you no longer feel the need to chase what runs. You no longer feel broken by every closed door. You no longer feel desperate to prove yourself to the wrong people. You no longer feel that your future depends on one human being. Your chest feels lighter. Your thoughts feel calmer. Your heart feels freer. That freedom is precious, because now, if love comes, you receive it with gratitude, not desperation. If delay continues, you carry it with patience, not panic. If something leaves, you accept it with dignity, not collapse. This is strength. This is spiritual maturity. This is a hidden sign that Allah is preparing you. So if lately you feel less desperate, if chasing people now feels exhausting, if forcing stories now feels unnatural, if trusting Allah feels easier than controlling outcomes, do not think nothing is happening. The greatest changes often happen inside first, because sometimes, before Allah sends the love written for you, He first teaches you to stop forcing love and start trusting His perfect timing. And if your heart has been waiting for something beautiful, do not think your waiting was wasted. Every delay taught you something. Every tear cleaned something. Every closed door protected something. Every lonely night strengthened something inside you. Allah was never absent from your story. He was shaping it, even in silence. So raise your heart to Him now. Ya Allah, if we are waiting for love, let it be love that brings peace. If we are waiting for marriage, let it be marriage filled with mercy. If we are waiting for companionship, let it be with someone who fears you, respects us, and protects our hearts. Ya Allah, remove from us every attachment that harms us. Take away the people who only bring confusion. Close every door that leads to regret, and open only the doors that carry barakah. Ya Allah, heal every broken heart listening right now. Replace pain with peace. Replace fear with trust. Replace loneliness with your closeness. Replace delay with something more beautiful than what we imagined. Ya Allah, make us worthy of the blessings we ask for. Purify our intentions. Improve our character. Strengthen our patience. Make us the kind of people who can carry love the right way. Ya Allah, if our spouse is already written for us, guide them, protect them, and bring them at the best time. And if the time has not come yet, make the waiting easy on our hearts. Never let us settle for what takes us away from you. Never let us chase what was never meant for us. Never let us lose hope in your plan. Ya Allah, write for us a love that is halal, sincere, gentle, and lasting. Write for us homes filled with laughter, prayer, mercy, and safety. Write for us hearts that meet not only in this world, but in Jannah. And if someone listening today feels forgotten, remind them that what you delay is never lost. What you write cannot miss. What you protect may hurt now, but heal later. And what you choose is always better than what we choose for ourselves. Ameen. Trust Him. Your story is not late. It is still being written. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more reminders that bring peace to the soul. And if you are still waiting on Allah's timing, write, "I trust Allah's plan" in the comments. Sometimes your words can strengthen someone else who is quietly waiting too.